Now at 10, family and friends mourn the life of an Alton teen killed in a crash.
She did not have a bad bone in her body.
A memorial sits at the crash site while police bring up new charges against the driver involved in the wreck.
It's going to be very hard to move on because grief is a long, hard process.
This bookstore, partially boarded up after a crash, killed a beloved grandmother.
I heard someone mention it inside and I was just like, oh.
We have new details at 10 about the wreck and where the investigation stands tonight.
Hopefully nothing like that happens again.
New legal action and a growing fight over sending troops to American cities.
Donald Trump is using our service members as political props.
It's like a war zone. It's probably worse than almost any city in the world.
A hot start to the fall season.
It's pretty warm for being fall.
The October heat wave creating real challenges for fall festivities.
I think it does affect people. They're less likely to come out, less likely to spend more time.
Live from First Alert 4, this is a breaking news alert.
Right now we are tracking breaking news just steps away from SLU's campus. Tonight, 2 people are shot, 1 is dead following a shooting. This is First Alert 4 at 10. I'm Corey Stark.
And I'm Morgan Harris in for Sam. In just the last hour, we're getting new information about what led up to bullets flying near a college campus. Jordan Burrell is live in Midtown telling us what police say transpired tonight. Jordan.
Yeah, Morgan, Corey, we're live here on Laclede Ave, right across from SLU's intramural field. And police tell us that in this back parking lot is where an argument started, and from there escalated into shots being fired. Police say there are 2 victims, 2 boys between the ages of 16 and 20. One died and the other was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police tell us they believe the shooting had nothing to do with this campus.
We have no indication that this argument that escalated into shooting had anything to do with the SLU campus, and we do not believe at this time that the campus is in any danger.
Police did not disclose any information about the shooter tonight. They just say they believe the person from their initial investigation did flee this area. We'll keep you updated on the very latest with this ongoing story on air and online. But for now, live in Midtown, Jordan Burrell, First Alert 4.
Now at 10, memorials on both sides of the river remembering 2 lives lost in separate car crashes on the same day. These wrecks raising concern tonight about dangers on metro roads.
Those fatal crashes happened just hours apart. One killed a 74-year-old woman in Ladue, the other a 17-year-old teenager in Alton. There are new charges in connection to that deadly crash in Alton. This man, 28-year-old Zachary Shoemake, is charged with 2 felony counts of driving under the influence. The wreck killed this 17-year-old Grace Bustos and injured her mother. Tonight, our Kimberly Donahue is hearing from those honoring Grace's life and learning more about the driver now charged.
It's going to be very hard to move on because grief is a long, hard process.
That's how the friends of 17-year-old Grace Bustos have felt in the days after her death.
As soon as you walked in the school, you could feel the sadness around everybody.
The Alton High School senior died in a crash at Homer Adams Parkway and Seminary Street Friday night. Bustos' mother, who was a passenger in the crash, is still in the hospital. Family tells me she has a few broken ribs, but is expected to make a full recovery. A fan of both books and music and an active crocheter, friends say Grace Bustos dreamed of becoming a writer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take a moment to remember one of our own.
Monday, she was honored with a moment of silence ahead of the Alton High School volleyball game. Alton police say a drunk driver hit the vehicle Grace and her mom were in. Zachary Shoemake is charged with 2 felony counts of driving under the influence. According to court records, he has multiple traffic-related violations dating back to 2014 and was previously charged with drug possession and attempt to flee an officer. Bustos' friends tell me they are troubled by the circumstances of the crash.
Call somebody first before you put yourself in the position of driving while under the influence.
This pole marks the site of the crash. Over the last few days, it's been filled with a wreath, flowers, and notes to Grace from her loved ones who say she was everything you'd want in a friend.
She was funny, she was kind, she was sweet. We just sat out there and she played with my hair and she braided it and she put daisies in my hair. And I looked back at that picture today and I was like, oh my goodness. And so when I went and picked out flowers for her, I picked ones that kind of looked like daisies.
She always had something funny to say, something uplifting to say, and she was She was just a great person.
A person friends say they will spend their whole lives remembering. In Alton, Kimberly Donahue, First Alert 4.
Alton police say Shoemake is being held pending a detention hearing in accordance with the Illinois Safety Act.
And new tonight, we can confirm this woman, 74-year-old Paula Aboud, was killed after a car rammed into a Ladue bookstore, killing her and severely injuring her husband. That crash happened at the Barnes & Noble located in a shopping center on Ladue Road. Tonight, our Jordan Burrell is hearing from residents shaken up by this wreck.
Flowers now line the boarded-up entrance of this Barnes & Noble in Ladue. A note attached to one bouquet reads, "Lest we forget how fragile we are," a quiet sign of grief after a deadly crash Friday.
I heard someone mention it inside, and I was just like, oh.
Barnes & Noble employees tell me they reopened Monday, and people shopping in the plaza are taking it all in.
I mean, it's just so unfortunate, you know? I mean, any death is very unfortunate, but especially when it just seems so, like, out of the blue.
First Alert 4 confirmed with family 74-year-old Paula Aboud died Friday afternoon when a driver plowed into the bookstore. Aboud's husband, Camille, was there too. He's in the hospital with serious injuries. Paula, a mother of two and grandmother, died at the scene.
She's just shopping for books and then boom, and then it's done. And so that's crazy.
Anton says the shopping plaza is fairly quiet, so it's surprising this even happened. Meanwhile, Ladue police are still investigating the cause of the crash. The department is not releasing the driver's name, but says they are cooperating with the investigation. It is unclear if the driver will face any charges. But for now, the impact is still visible, both on this building and in the Ladue community.
Prayers for her family and everything they're going through, and that's so unfortunate. And yeah, hopefully nothing like that happens again.
In Ladue, Jordan Burrell, First Alert 4.
New at 10, we now know the ages of the 4 people killed in a North County crash that stalled traffic for hours on I-70 this afternoon. Missouri Highway Patrol says just after 1 p.m., an 88-year-old man drove south in the northbound lanes. That driver and the 3 people, including a 60 and 25-year-old man and a 20-year-old woman who were all in the first car hit, all died. Investigators have not revealed why the driver was going in the wrong direction. Now, this is a story we first broke to you on our news app. To get the latest updates along with breaking news that impacts you, use the QR code on your screen to download our app and turn on push notifications so we can send you the latest information right to your cell phone.
Let's turn to the weather tonight. The Ford Skycam network has given us this live image of downtown St. Louis. After a warm start to fall, we got some changes coming. Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton joins us now with the latest updates to his forecast. Steve.
Yeah, cold front's on the way. Gives us at least a shot for some rain. Look, most are going to stay dry. We're dry right now, but you see like a little shower developing off to the northwest. There is a front back there to the northwest, and a lot of the rain that's behind it here is going to dry up by the time this front reaches us tomorrow morning. So it won't look like what you see there to the northwest. It'll be much sparser, maybe a couple isolated showers. So there is that chance for a couple showers, but most of us dry. And it will get cooler. Now, the morning's not necessarily cooler, but look at our 74 right now, 50s up here in Iowa. That's what's coming. And that's why the afternoon tomorrow, our high temperature will be close to what we're at right now. So it's a big temperature change. Again, you don't notice it too much in the morning. It's a nice mild start, mostly cloudy. Let's still watch for a spot shower. Temperatures in the 60s and a lot of cloud cover. But it's a much cooler day, and that's going to set the tone for the rest of the week. I'll show you when our lows are in the 40s coming up.
All right, Steve, thank you. New at 10, financial service provider Stifel cutting dozens of jobs in St. Louis. That is according to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. The company, which was founded and is headquartered here in St. Louis, laid off close to 60 technology workers. A Stifel spokesperson says this was a, quote, small restructuring within our technology group and will help ensure their teams can support future growth. The layoffs follow Stifel's announcement that it had its second best quarter in company history with more than $1.2 billion in net revenue.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker leading new legal action tonight, trying to stop the National Guard from being deployed in Chicago. The governor says without his permission, President Trump federalized hundreds of Illinois Guards members along with the troops from Texas National Guard. Well, that move, along with ICE raids in the Windy City, have led to protest. Today, Governor Pritzker says the people don't want the Guard there and they're not needed.
Let me be clear. Donald Trump is using our service members as political props and as pawns in his illegal effort to militarize our nation's cities.
Just yesterday, a federal judge blocked the Trump administration from sending the National Guard to Portland, Oregon. Chicago officials hope for a similar outcome.
We're looking live at our nation's capital, where tonight the government shutdown continues as Democrats and Republicans fail to come to a consensus on a spending bill. Today, the Senate reconvened to vote on both a Republican and Democrat-led measure to reopen the government. Both proposals failed to advance after multiple votes. The big sticking point is health care. Democrats want to extend Affordable Care Act tax credits and roll back Medicaid cuts. Republicans insist on passing a short-term spending bill before working on a deal around those health care items.
The only reason the government is shut down is because Democrats refuse to accept a clean, nonpartisan funding extension. A clean, nonpartisan funding extension.
Senate Democrats returned to Washington ready to negotiate. We're ready to work with Republicans to reopen the government.
And while the back and forth between lawmakers continues, thousands of federal workers are impacted by this shutdown, some of which are going without pay. And if you're planning on catching a flight soon, you might want to get to the airport a bit early, as the head of the Department of Transportation warns this ongoing shutdown is already impacting air travel.
We're tracking sick calls, sick leave, and have we had a slight tick up in sick calls? Yes. And then you'll see delays that come from that, right? Because again, our priority, I want to see your flight not be delayed. I don't want you canceled, but our priority is your safety.
Experts say a food aid program helping low-income mothers and young children will run out of federal money within 2 weeks if the government shutdown does not end. Well, it's a story you can see if you take a quick peek out of your window.
Yeah, tonight the first supermoon is lighting up the night sky. Our Ford Sky Cam shows the supermoon shining over the downtown skyline there. A supermoon, is when the moon reaches its nearest point to Earth, making it look larger and fuller. October's full moon is called the harvest moon because it is the closest to the first day of fall. Historically, its bright glow has helped farmers finish their harvest for the year.
It's pretty warm for being fall. We expected it to be a little bit cooler.
The start of fall feeling more like the beginning of summer. How this warm start to the season is having a major impact on fall activities. And join us this Saturday for Mizzou Live ahead of Mizzou taking on Alabama in Columbia. Join us at 10 a.m. on Matrix Midwest and right here on First Alert 4 on Saturday.
And before we head to break, Drone 4, powered by Renewal by Anderson, flying high in Forest Park to give us this shot of the golf course there. Now, the course offers 3 different 9-hole layouts. You got the Hawthorne, Dogwood, and Redbud. All of those are tributes to St. Louis's most common trees. We've got more news, weather, and sports when we return. Stick around.